Hi and welcome to the Muthaship. My name is Sazsha. I pre-shuffled the cards, so let's see what messages we have for today. For the heart of the reading, we have Six of Pentacles reversed and Nine of Fire. We also have the Six of Swords. So definitely a lot of energy around creating harmony and balance, especially within one's outer world and earthly realm, the home, the family, and also how to balance the mind as well. There's a need to come into one's truth and embrace your willpower. There's a message that there's still some rooted belief systems, dogma, and things of that nature that could be creating blocks or resistance. Also friends' influences and just in general things that you were taught that aren't your true essence. There's also a reference to the Venus star, the Dawn star. So for some of you might want to look at the astrological correspondences. And there's definitely some movement away from especially what has been creating the imbalances. So let's peek at the divine feminine aspect. We have the Ace of Pentacles, the Three of Water, the Hanged Man, the Eight of Cups reversed, Emotion and Intellect, and the Magician reversed. Some of you are still not getting in touch with the magic of yourself, the magic of how you can create the life that you want. There's a strong need to really make a commitment to yourself. Your abundance is reassured and assured, and it will be there for you. If you look back over your life, there's never been a time in your entire life that you haven't actually had what you needed. Even if you felt that you didn't, sometimes those were just tests to see how dedicated you were on your path. But there is new knowledge coming and also new frequencies that can help you balance this out as you, I'm hearing be willing to receive. So maybe you need to work on that aspect where you're actually allowing yourself to receive what you want and to be what you want. And there's also some worry and some stagnation around just, I'm hearing interference in general on your path. And I'm feeling like this could be about your person too. So there's a need to really get in touch with that celebration in your own life. Really truly living what it is that your soul wants to live. And when you get into this energy, it is moment by moment. And it doesn't take a lot of planning and preparation. It's like your soul will just tell you, let's go this way, let's go that way. And you do it instantly. You're outside of time. So there's no need to really plan things out in the way of maybe the past way of doing things. But as you get more involved in this energy in your life and engage more in it, you'll begin to notice that you are more free and you don't feel as bound to things. You don't feel all wrapped up or tied up anymore. You're able to actually just be at ease with yourself and really flowing in your own rhythm. And if you feel like maybe you haven't been in that space, it might just be time to really let go of all expectations for yourself and just take a day off, take it easy, do what your body and your soul need. I'm feeling also there's some heart chakra things that maybe need to be released right now. So you're also really in the space of balancing your emotion and intellect as you're weighing out the pros and cons. Just this moment in time is really about deciding what you're walking towards mostly, because you have been going through the process, you have been getting your illumination, and there might be some more integration work that you need to do, really getting your thoughts in order, clearing out those heavier and deep-seated emotions. And I'm hearing mostly just taking the effort and taking the time and being dedicated and putting yourself right, because there's something that's really blocking you from your own empowerment. And I'm hearing also this can be a confidence thing and a self-worth thing, and also a combination of maybe just not knowing. So this is a good point in time as you're balancing your emotions and your intellect to also um, be open to studying new things and learning new things, even that maybe you weren't drawn to before. But these spiritual understandings that are coming in for you will help open you to new ways of doing things, new ways of seeing things, new perspectives and perceptions. And that too will help you to balance out those emotions that you've been holding on to. So let's now move to the divine masculine aspect. We also have the Eight of Cups, the Star, Faith, Integrity, King of Wands, and King of Swords reversed. So the divine masculine aspect is beginning to realize how truly important he is. And he is looking forward to these new openings and awarenesses. And also, he knows that he has had to walk certain ways in the world that maybe didn't suit those around him. And he's been reflecting and really getting into his deeper emotions and his wisdom, his astuteness and his mobility, his just kind of balanced viewpoint of the world. And he's really been trusting his guidance, and he knows that he'll be shown exactly what he needs to see in the moment that he needs to see it. He's beginning to trust more and more. And he's really getting into his passion too. He is hesitating a little bit about his truth. This could be about how he feels, and he might have some indecision, and he might have some even confusion. Even though he's been opening up and working on his inner emotions, there's still some type of misalignment, and he has everything he needs to know about the way he feels, but maybe he's at a loss for words right now, and also just really unsure and uncertain about what the next step really is right now. I'm hearing more of it's like which type of a step he can actually take. Let's get a few more cards out. Nine of Swords, Eight of Wands, and the Judgment reversed. So he might just be having that type of inner struggle where he wants to put down the conflict. And he has been experiencing seeing backstabbing and also tower moments He has a lot he wants to say though, and he's been getting a lot of movement in his life and direct messages from the divine. And I'm laughing because just the DM. He's been getting the DMs for DMs. So there's definitely still awakening that he has left to do. This process is always ongoing for all of us, but he's gently waking up. Some of those areas that are causing him conflict, he just hasn't known quite how to let go of them entirely, and also getting that he didn't even see some of those things around him clearly, and he's beginning to see these things more clear, and it's maybe even causing more turmoil because he didn't recognize it before in some cases. But this is all part of his awakening, and he is getting ready for that balance between heaven and earth within him, so within, so without, as above, so below. And he is um, in that process too of formulating how he wants to express himself. Let's get some cards for the divine feminine aspect. Ten of Cups, the Moon reversed, and the King of Swords. So the divine feminine, she knows what she wants. She knows a lot of the details of her dream, and that she has a lot of love to give and share and receive as well. And she's been pouring that self-love and self-care into herself and learning how to do this more and more. And she's ready to speak up about what she wants, and there is a little bit of confusion that she's been in, but she's starting to come out of that confusion, and some of it has to do with the subconscious realm and maybe not even knowing. I'm hearing who her allies are, who she can trust and lean on, depend on. For many, there's been a push to really stand up in one's power, and sometimes it's necessary to even just walk the path alone for some time and not have that dependence on other people, but learn how to depend on the spiritual forces in your life. So she's been balancing and experiencing things that help her come into this deeper balance within herself. And her intellectual process and her mind is very sharp. She's definitely using her perception that she's learning about, that's opening to her. And let's get a few guidance cards. We have transformation, the arts, and past life. So for the divine masculine, this has been a huge transformation that he's been going through. And as all of us experience this, it's layer by layer and piece by piece. It doesn't happen all at once. And he's in that knowing as well that he really is making these changes. And that's where some of the conflict is coming in as well. Because for some, it's been known that there needs to be change. And we're not always prepared or even in the know about how to create those changes. But it's assured that these changes are going to bring in a lot of blessings. So at the heart of the reading, there's a strong message to express yourself and take on creative endeavors. And especially if there are any areas of lack that you've been experiencing, make sure to go in and correct those. Like wherever in your life you feel like you didn't get what you wanted, you weren't satiated, it's time now to go and take care of those things. And for the divine feminine aspect, the past life card usually denotes that you've been in connection with the people around you many times in other timelines. And also, if you're experiencing blocks and constrictions that you can't find the root of, many times you can look to other timelines. I know that from myself personally, I had some deep-seated emotional stuff that I could not find where it originated. And this is where you get spiritual on yourself. You ask your helpers and your allies and your guidance team to help point those things out to you. And you work with your own psyche and you find those places that they're rooted in. And you'll find them. There's also a message that you have been here before. And each time you incarnate, you take on, in essence, more karma. But you take on different aspects of those lessons. And there's a need sometimes to really look at your karmic contract to see what it is that you have agreed to and to understand what process you're in. Because if you're working on some past life karma and clearing that up, your whole world will look completely different after you finish up that karmic phase. So it's good to have awareness just in the place that you are on the wheel.